Yo, what's going on, guys? Your boy Point Montana, and in this video, we're going to be going over the switch stick in College Football 25. Now, I've already made one of these videos, but this is going to be a more in-depth video on how I'm currently using the switch stick and some tips that I feel will help you guys to be better at the switch stick in general. Now, before I get into it, if you guys are new to the channel, do not forget to hit that subscribe button, like the video, comment down below, hit that noti bell so you guys never miss an upload. And if you guys are watching this on X/Twitter, hit that like, repost, show a little bit of love. This is going to be a very informative video for those of you guys who are struggling to perfect your switch stick. There's going to be a couple tips in here that will help you guys out because I know I've had my issues with the switch stick, so hopefully you guys can learn from this. Now, quick breakdown of what the switch stick is. It is a feature in the game that allows you to go ahead and switch your user before the quarterback throws the ball so that you guys can pretty much jump a route, if you will. And I'm just going to go ahead and showcase what it looks like so you guys can see it for yourself exactly what it is. You're going to take the right stick in with your user. Now, a couple tips before I go ahead and show it. Your user cannot be in a blitzing angle, and your user the quarterback cannot throw the ball before you actually try to switch stick. You can't switch stick after the user throws the ball. After the user throws the ball, you have to go ahead and switch your user with the O button or B button if you guys are on the Xbox. So, switch sticking, it's an art. It's one of the greatest features EA has ever added. So obviously, it's something that you're going to want to perfect to play much better defense. So when you are trying to switch stick, I'm going to call hike. I put everybody on the defensive line on a spy so nobody's attacking. So you see my user, he's right in the middle of the field here. If I see a route that's breaking open, if I see a route combination that looks a little too familiar and the opponent keeps on running it, I'm going to go ahead and move the right stick in that direction to go ahead and click on one of the players. As you can see right now, currently, I am on this guy right here, if you guys can see. And if I move the right stick up, I'm going to go ahead and flick over to the safety or the cornerback that's in his cover 3, and he's doing his job. I'm going to flick up. And as you can see, now I'm over here. Now I'm all the way up here. And you can switch stick all the way across the field by moving the right stick all the way to the side. As you can see, now I'm all the way over here. All right, that's key number 1 to knowing the switch stick, is knowing how to switch stick. And it's very hard for some people to grasp that concept. Remember, you can only do it before the quarterback throws. If I throw it to R1 and I try to switch stick, I have to go ahead. I'm going to throw it to R1, and I'm going to try to switch stick after the QB throws it. I can't switch stick. Now, granted, we still end up making a play because he has ball hawk, but at the same time, you can't switch stick after the ball is thrown. You have to switch stick beforehand, and that's something that a lot of people are getting frustrated over because they're not understanding that that's a mechanic in the game. You have to switch with O or B once the quarterback starts their throwing mode. Not starts, excuse me. I don't want to misinform you. Once the ball is in the air, out of the QB's hand, you have to switch with O. And it's a skill gap that needs to be learned from a lot of people. Now, one of the biggest tips that has been brought to my attention by labbing and practicing this are the 2 best formations to call when you are running a switch stick defense. And I'll drop a full defensive guide on that as well. But if you're running a full switch stick defense, there are 2 kinds of plays that you're going to want to make sure you're using a lot. That is cover 4 and cover 2. Why? Because they not only have the same alignment, most cover 2s in this game can also be coverage shelled as a cover 4. Same thing with cover 4 being shelled as a cover 2. The shells are going to make your life 10 times easier, even if you're going with a cover 0 shell where the linebackers are kind of pinched into the line because they're sending an all-out blitz. So you end up having 2 high safeties, which makes your cover 2 work just as well. Now, when it comes to that, the reason why that's such a very crucial tip is because if you're calling a cover 4, it makes it easier to switch stick on specific defenders so you can go ahead and guard anything that's going on in the middle of the field. It's just going to make your life 10 times easier, and it's going to frustrate your opponent a lot. It's going to allow you to call deep halves with your cornerbacks and put your hooks at a certain amount so that you guys can sit there and pretty much switch stick on certain defenders and make a play on a lot of the passes in this game. Now, the reason why cover 2 is such an important thing to know is because you're going to be switching off from cover 2 and cover 3. Now, I'm going to go ahead and call a cover 2 here. And it doesn't matter what formation you're calling the cover 2 in, but I'm going to try to find a cover 2 blitz so you guys can see what it is. You cannot switch stick on a blitzing player. So we can't find a blitz out of here. You know what? Let's just call double mug. Double mug is a perfect play. And when you're calling this, I like to pinch my defense if I'm in a cover 2 and I'm blitzing the entire defense. Now, the reason why this is an easier way to switch stick or perfect the switch stick, the reasoning is, and I'm going to go ahead and get rid of my beautiful face here, is because instead of having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and potentially the 7th player to switch stick on, you're separating the switch stick function into sections of just 5 people, okay? You have only 5 people that are going to be guarding a specific area, and you're going to be able to switch stick on them immediately, especially if you're blitzing. So if you guys are calling a cover 2, this is going to be my suggestion. You're going to go ahead and take your zone drops, put them up to around a 10, okay? Put your zone drops to around a 10, and then if you're playing a cover 4, you're going to put your zone drops to around a 0 or 5. Why? Simply so that they can guard the underneath as best as possible while you're switch sticking to guard a different route. Now, if you're blitzing, this is going to be a huge tip for those of you guys that are watching. If you're blitzing, I like to go from one side of the field, and as soon as they call hike, I'm switch sticking over to the right side and making sure that everything else is guarded, allowing my user to pretty much take away an entire flat side of the field and scaring the hell out of the opponent. So as soon as we call hike, we take our user, pretend like we're going to guard a specific route, and then we're going to go ahead and switch stick on the flat so we can go ahead and take away an entire side of the field. Now, if the play breaks down to where you're sitting there and they're kind of moving around in the pocket, you're not only going to be able to switch stick to somebody else, your user is going to make sure that he's not like kind of breaking out of the pocket. Now, granted, I would only suggest this if you guys are blitzing, but again, your switch stick is only going to be anybody that's in a zone. And that's something that is going to help you guys out a lot, is making sure that your user is in the proper zone that you want him to be, because as soon as you switch stick off of him, he's going to go ahead and play his assignment like normal. So as soon as I switch stick, you know what? Let me go ahead and put the defense all the way in spy so nobody gets sent. So right now I'm on Clark, and I'm going to switch stick off of Clark as soon as the play starts, and he's going to go ahead into his hook curl, and he's going to start jogging back into that play because he's going to start doing his job again. So that's the next tip in this, is you're going to want to make sure that you're putting your user, the person that you're starting the play off in, you're going to make sure that you're putting him in the right play, in the right zone, so that he's going to be able to help you. So say you're putting him in a hard flat. So I'm going to go ahead and call hike, and I'm going to switch stick over to the flat. And as you can see, he's running down over towards the flat. He's doing his job. So now I'm using the cornerback, and I'm chasing any routes that are going towards the middle of the field while I have a zone that's now going towards that flat. Again, it's all about how you set your defense up, because it will make your life a lot easier to just be able to switch stick on 5 players rather than 7, because then you're going to end up switch sticking on somebody that you're not intending to switch stick on, and it's just going to make your life 10 times harder to actually make a play on these passes. So again, if you're blitzing, cover 2. If you're trying to play coverage, cover 4. And I'm going to go ahead and showcase the cover 4 situation, and then I'll get out of your hair so you guys can see it for yourself. So if you're playing a cover 4, if you're switching up the defense a little bit, you're going to want to take your zone drops, turn them down to 0 up to 5, right? 0 down to 5, depending on what it is. And then you're going to call a cover 4. So a lot of this is used in the 4-3-6-1 formation. It's probably one of the best defenses in this year's game. And again, you're only sending the 4 people. So we're going to go ahead. Boom. We're going to crash down. We're going to send everybody down so that we have enough players in the middle of the field. And now I'm going to go ahead and take these guys and put them in spies again, okay? So you're going to take your user. You're going to dart towards a section of the field. And then if you see something open, you're going to go ahead and dart down. As you can see, I'm currently using the middle safety on the left side. And again, all you're going to want to do is make sure that you're flicking your stick in the area that you want your switch stick to go, okay? So The cover 4 is going to make it a little bit difficult because you have 4 players that are in deep blues, and you're going to end up having to switch stick twice if you're trying to go over to a specific person. And that's why the less people that you have in a specific area, the better your switch sticking skills will be, because you want to make sure that you're switch sticking on the right person to guard a corner route. You want to make sure that you're switch sticking on the right person to guard a post route that's hitting you deep in the middle every single time. So as soon as you see that your opponent is starting to do certain things, you're going to want to go ahead and make sure that you're switch sticking onto the right person and focusing on that. So last thing before I get out of here, I'm going to run a flood concept on to the right side of the field just so you guys can get comfortable with doing this. And this is something that I want you guys to practice so it makes your life a little bit easier. You know what? I'm going to make it so that it's sort of in the middle of the field. And this is going to be a little hard because I'm going to try to use it. I'm going to try to call hike and throw the ball while switch sticking at the same time. And that's just going to be a little bit frustrating. So right now our flats are going down to the 5-yard mark. So we're not focused on guarding that, but we are focused on guarding the corner route that's on that side. So let's try to make this happen. So boom, our stick is there. And again, I switch stick and I ended up you know what? I'm not even going to do that again. But switch sticking in that situation, I switch stick too fast and I ended up going for the hit stick. That's probably one of the most frustrating things to deal with. But as you can see, before he goes, as soon as he throws it, I switch stick to make a play. Unfortunately, I went ahead and I flicked it a little too much. And instead of making a play on the ball, I end up allowing him to pretty much make a beautiful catch. But this is how you're going to pretty much try your best to switch stick. If I had a different controller to actually go ahead and switch stick properly, I would have, but this is going to be huge when you guys are playing defense in college football and Madden 25. My name is Tony Montana. Hopefully this switch stick video helps you guys out, because this tip alone helped me, calling just those defenses where you're not switch sticking on 40 different people. It just helps you guys out a lot. So hopefully, well, it helped me out a lot. So hopefully it helps you guys out just as much as it helped me. My name is Tony Montana. I will see you guys in the next one, man. As always, 2 fingers, deuces. Get your switch stick skills right. And I'll see you guys in the next one, man.